welcome our next panel. I think we have people joining from various places, various cities. I can see Professor. Uh, I think actually the names are very small, so it's like difficult to read. But I can identify Rahul Singh ji
Hello
from
everyone.
Pune. Hello, hi, and I think Professor Arun Patil is here.
Yes,
Yes,
yes. Hello everyone. How are you?
thank you. Welcome for joining. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you.
Yes, and Professor R.A. Gupta and Professor H.D. Charan is, I think I can see their screens, but you have to switch on the videos. Yes, welcome,
Yeah,
Professor
I am
Gupta.
here.
Thanks for
Hello
joining.
to all.
Namaskar.
Namaskar sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
And
I am H.N. Verma from Jaipur National University.
welcome, sir. Welcome. Please
Welcome.
join.
Thank you.
And
I am
Professor
already
H.D. Charan, may I request him to switch on his camera, please? We can't see him.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, welcome, Charanji. Namaskar.
Namaskar Charan sir.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar. So, we have all the panelists with us. Let me welcome each of them here. We have Professor R.A. Gupta, who is Vice Chancellor of Rajasthan Technical University. Welcome, Dr. Gupta. We have Professor H.D. Charan, who is the Vice
Thank
Chancellor
you.
of Bikaner Technical University. Welcome, sir. We have Professor H.M. Burma, who is the Vice Chancellor of Jaipur National University. Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
And we have Mr. Rahul Singhi, who is the co-founder of Purnima University and director of Purnima Group. Rahulji, welcome. And we have Professor Arun Patil, who is the academic dean, Victorian Institute of Technology, Melbourne, Australia. Welcome, Professor Patil.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining, all of you. So the topic is that how can academia leverage technology to engage students in the time of COVID-19? So we all are aware that campuses are closed, students are sitting at home, and there is a challenge of student engagement. All the universities are missing the excitement of the students being in the campus, the fun activities with them, the eye-to-eye interaction with them, the question and answer in the classes, the practicals, the sports, games, interactions, like all is missing. And how do we engage the students virtually and also keep them engaged in their coursework, in their knowledge development and skill development? So how it to happen? So I will request each of the panelists to give their initial comments for 2 to 3 minutes each on this topic, and then we will go for a round of panel like questions in the panel, and also take live questions from the audience, which you can see on your screen. There is a option of live comments. So I'm starting with our overseas panelist, Professor Arun Patil. Your initial comments, please, on this topic.
Yeah, thank you very much. As you rightly said, the first thing is that students are missing this learning enjoyment, especially face-to-face interaction uh, on campuses. But I think it is the situation have been forced us to into this mode, and we should really thank ourselves, especially higher education universities and many higher education institutions around the world, that we are coping up, and within a short span of time, I think we have transformed into fully online or fully digital delivery. There are various stages, because when we think or when we develop any program to deliver off-campus mode or deliver online mode or digital delivery mode, um, right from preparation planning to actual execution delivery of the program and evaluation, there are various phases, and planning requires a lot of time. However, I think the situation um, has forced us into a very quick transformation, and we have to think of the future. So currently our immediate priority is how to make sure that what you mentioned, that students are missing that enjoyment of having face-to-face interaction in face-to-face teaching mode. um, the most important or key word here in this particular mode of teaching learning is engagement, student engagement. How we have cutting edge technologies, of course, we have a lot of softwares, tools, but I think our all our higher education stakeholders priority now is to make sure that students are engaged or learners are engaged throughout, not just in one activity or teaching learning activity as a lecture, so lectures, there was a MOOC also before this particular phase coming. There was MOOC, and students were accessing a lot of free online courses, but that is not the idea. So it's very important keyword here is student engagement, and how we can leverage tools for better student engagement. And that student engagement just for not for activities, but assessment, and even peer-to-peer learning, peer-to-peer interaction, and learner instructor interaction. So there are a lot to think about. I can talk more about this, and we can see that how we are moving into different phases, but overall I think we are doing fine. There is a lot of requirement to make sure that students are engaged throughout. um, the major question, the priority of the issues now every one of us facing is examination, how we assess students. And as all of us, we know assessment drives learning. If students, they don't really understand assessment, they don't know how they are going to assess on their learning, there is a lot of gray areas, and that is where the problem is. So currently most of us, we are working, many of us doing very good. In my institution, we are doing a fully online examination, using combination of aspects. But I think that is also very important. Students understand assessment concept, because that is when students engage most in their learning. So I will come back with some other if, issues such as digital delivery framework. I will talk more about that.
Sure. Thank you, Professor Arun Patil. Thanks for your initial comments. And let me move to our next speaker, Mr. Rahul Singhi, who is the co-founder from Purnima University. Your views on this topic? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. So, first of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all our teachers, faculty members, and staff members who, in spite of the shutdown, lockdown of these 2 months, were continuously working in full spirit. They were helping all the students through all the e-platforms. So we are very proud of all the teachers of all the institutions who did not stop even in this difficult time. Secondly, I would like to say that this is the time when the survival of fittest, जो हम लोग quote सुनते आ रहे थे बहुत टाइम से, अब हमको I mean we would be able to see this quote getting applied everywhere in very quick manner. you will see that a lot of changes will be coming in the coming months. Rather, in terms of academia, a lot of changes have already come. Just to take a fact out of the change that we have undergone at my institution, that in past 6 months, uh, so we have around 31,000 alumni all across the globe, and in past 6 months, we were seeing the analysis of the activeness of the email IDs that were given to the students like a long time back, and few of the students who are currently also using. We saw that more than 20,000 video sessions were taken in past 6 months, and you won't believe, uh, only I mean around 18,800 video sessions were only taken in past 2 months, which means an approximate increase of 2,000% in video lectures, which means the quick adaptation of technology in academia. And this I mean, these are the real facts that I'm sharing. So I think this is the time when we need to switch to these online modes, and only people who switch, adapt, change will survive in a longer run. And as I was seeing the previous presentations by Paul, the person said that the critical thinking and application of mind is now what is needed. We have we have adapted the technology, but now we have to apply our brains to optimize that, to maximize it, to reach to the full potential, and not to forget the emotional intelligence, which is very important. Even if we have adapted to a lot of technological platforms, but emotional intelligence is what is will I mean which will drive the technology further. So these are my initial comments about leveraging the technology in our scenario.
Excellent. I think your point about massive increase in the video sessions in the last 1 month, which you have backed up by data, is a very, very important proof that how things are changing. And
Yes.
let me request uh, Professor R.A. Gupta, who is the Vice Chancellor of Rajasthan Technical University, to give your perspective on this.
Thank you very much to all of you, and thanks for inviting me on this wonderful session. Being a Rajasthan Technical University, we have a lot of responsibilities towards my all affiliated colleges and all students studying in these colleges. Nowadays, it's a sudden change. Before this Corona BC and after Corona AC, a sudden change is there, and it needs a complete transformation. Classroom teaching to digital learning. A lot of advantages are there of this digital learning, because we have freedom to choose your learning place, no restriction of time, and all the tools we have to use. Lot of online learning platforms we have, starting from NPTEL, Coursera, Swayam, then TED-Ed, Khan Academy, and so many. Online interaction learning tool we have Google Classroom with Google Meet, WebEx, Microteams, Zooms, and so many. And broadcast we have YouTube, Facebook, and all these things. So suddenly what is happening, that my students now have a lot of time and lot of tools and everything to jump into this. But practically we have to think about that this is a time of teaching and training, and we have to change at everywhere. Classroom teaching, we have to change. The learning and delivering of the faculty is also changed. Syllabus content, we have to think. Online exam, we have to think. Offline exam, we have to think. How we can conduct laboratory, basically, whether online or offline. You cannot basically substitute this complete offline to online. So these are the challenges. So many a times we speak about SWOT analysis. What is our strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat? So opportunity we have this time that our faculty can put lot of learning material, preparing, and student can learn everything at their own. The problem is there with the RTU, Rajasthan Technical University, what we are facing and we are observing every day, that many a times our 20-30% students, they are in the villages, they are not able to connect. So this is a challenge to us, that if my 30 or 20% students are not coming, not connecting, then my idea of online exam is not fulfilled completely. So we have to think about that also. But we can ask our student to basically prepare themselves to come with this basically technology, and they have to connect with the internet and having a good mobile phone and everything. So we have to teach them every day. We have to learn them. We have to convey them. This is our responsibility. Now, what is the threat I am looking nowadays? That everybody is getting knowledge and putting their videos, and no check is there whether the quality of the video is good or bad. So this is the great threat, and it is open everybody to put material on this online, YouTube or interactive or whatever. So what we think and what we are doing, that first of all, we have to identify the good teacher in each and every subject, individual subject. And then we have to ask them to create a classroom activity. They have to prepare lectures in a classroom atmosphere and record and then put on this YouTube. It is very, very important. Otherwise, what will happen, that after few months or few years, we will realize that our student, what they are getting, it's not a basically correct what they have to read and what they have to basically learn. Second point, we have to basically have the committee or a panel of the teachers. They can examine, they can look what my other faculty members are putting, or basically their teaching material on this YouTube or whatever learning platform. And we have to look the quality also. So these all are the challenges with us. So we are doing, and I am sure that we will do good. Thank you very much.
Sure. Excellent points about highlighting the various challenges of handling so many platforms, and also you mentioned about the quality of the videos which are being uploaded, the quality of content which people are talking about. May I request Professor H.N. Verma, who is the Vice Chancellor of Jaipur National University, to give your views on the subject, please. Sir, your audio is mute, sir. So I think there are some technical issues, it seems, with Professor Verma's.
Now this is okay. This is okay now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Could you hear me now?
Yes. We can hear you.
Okay. So good afternoon to all of you. And I'm so grateful to you for giving me the opportunity. Now, once the they started, we were we, from the very beginning. We started for these online programs. Initially, we sent them the PowerPoint presentations along with the brief write-ups to the students so they can go through it. And subsequently, we started with the Zoom lectures or using other platforms, and the students have taken it very well. And the teachers, they initially had some difficulty, but I must say that all the teachers, they acted very promptly, and they adopted the technology in a very decent way. So lectures have been almost completed. Then, as far as I could guess, that some difficulties the students are facing because of the internet connectivity and because of the non-availability of the mobile with good connectivity, 3G connection. But majority of the students, they have taken it very well, although sometimes they claim that we are feeling overburdened, and they are responsibility due to they have additional responsibility because of the lockdown also. So we try to convince them that this is for their benefit, because under the circumstances, this is the best what we can do for you, and this is in your interest. So they have taken it very well now, and we conducted two tests also, mock tests, so that they could be familiar with the examination process. And then we are going to have this online end term examination also. We have hired an agency, and we will be proctoring the video recording every action of the student during this online examination. Perhaps the students, they have also realized that this is the best way they can take the challenge. And then once things normalize, then perhaps we will go for the practical examinations of not online, but they will be in the classrooms. So this is how the students and the teachers, they are doing. But one thing which is very important is that they are having some sort of mental stress. And as suggested, that besides the teaching and learning, we have to develop certain programs which are related to co-curricular activities, which can motivate them from time to time, and which can release the tension of the students. I think such activities, they are also equally important during this time, because they are feeling isolated because of the lockdown, and then they have other commitments also. Some of them, they are having the problem that they don't have exhausted the stationery now. So these are some of the issues, and we are trying to tackle them. We are convincing our students. But the most important thing is that we should be mentoring our students regularly during this period, because we have to release their tension, we have to release their stress, whatever may be there in their mind, and perhaps hopefully the things will improve, and they will be having the regular sessions, classroom teaching also. As far as the quality of the contents of the YouTube lectures is concerned, I think the monitoring is extremely important, and this has to be done. There should be a committee to monitor this, because this is very important. I read in some of the newspapers that some parents, they also sit along with the students, and they see the lectures, and sometimes they have pointed regarding the language, regarding the pronunciation of the some of the faculty members. So these things, they have to be taken care of, and I'm sure that these difficult times will be over soon, and then the students will enjoy the classroom teaching and the campus life. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you, Professor Verma, for highlighting that even the basic issues like having a stationery is a challenge in a lockdown situation. So these are the small things but are important. And may I request Professor Charan to highlight like how is your university handling this issue of student engagement? Yes.
सारे प्रोग्राम को सुनने वाले कौन लोग हैं?
वेलकम सर।
गुप्ता जी, मैं कह रहा हूँ हमारे ऑडियंस कौन है?
आपकी आवाज बहुत हल्की आ रही है प्रोफेसर चरण।
अच्छा, आवाज आ रही है? अभी आ रही है?
अभी आ रही है, अभी आ रही है।
मैं गुप्ता जी ये पूछ रहा था कि हमारे ऑडियंस कौन है, सुनने वाले कौन है क्या?
अच्छा, आप हल्का सा जोर से बोलेंगे तो अच्छा होगा। और हमारी जो ऑडियंस है वो एजुकेशन कम्युनिटी है, जो हमारे अलग अलग स्टेट्स में हमारे जो फैकल्टी हैं, यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के फैकल्टी हैं, टीचर्स हैं और इवन बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं। और हमारी ऑडियंस बहुत सारी एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री भी है, जो लोग IT सॉल्यूशंस बनाते हैं वो भी है। सो मिक्स्ड ऑडियंस है, यूनिवर्सिटी, टीचर्स, प्रोफेसर्स, फैकल्टीज, students, and even your partners, all are there. Yeah, please start.
Thank you. नमस्कार सबको। As far my university and engagement to the student with latest technology is concerned, actually students are missing the campus, or rather we are missing the students. I feel we all are missing the students. Last 2 months almost, students were very busy, particularly in online system. And I feel generally we people avoid the things until unless it's become almost necessary. And that's what happened with this effect of corona. Earlier, we all were avoiding this online education, including teachers and students. And all our authorities were telling us, go for it, ICT was and a lot of material is available as for engineering. But still, we all people work in a hard situation, and that's what is created by corona. So this is, I think, it's a rightly tell आपका मैं आपको दिखा है. As far course is concerned, that's what completed.
सर, एक इनपुट है आपका कि आपकी ऑडियो साफ नहीं है, लेकिन अगर आपके पास ईयर फोन है तो आप लगा लीजिए प्लीज। आवाज जो है समझ नहीं आ रही है। हाँ सर,
अब ऑडिबल है?
हाँ जी, बेटर है। While our speaker is putting the earphone, let me inform all our audience who are live here that this is a whole day session, and we are having sessions on various aspects of the higher education in the whole day, and various eminent speakers are joining in the whole day, and you can see our the agenda of this event on the website, which is mentioned in the footer. So it's called hte.eletsonline.com, and I will also write this link on the chat. Okay. Yes, Professor Charanji, you can start please if you want. If you're okay now.
Anyway, I'm trying again. So as far my university is concerned, there were mainly three type of work we had done with the students. Is it audible now?
सर, एक रिक्वेस्ट है, आपका ईयर फोन आ जाए तो लाइक आई कैन इनवाइट यू टू स्पीक एंड लेट अदर स्पीकर्स स्पीक राइट नाउ. ओके, इज दैट ओके? या, सो let me pose the next question to all our panelists, that we have discussed about the various challenges, and we are seeing that the corona situation, the numbers are increasing in every state rapidly. And so this situation is not going to end very soon. So, what are the preparations which are the higher education institutions making for this long-term corona effect? And what are the possible solutions in the online space you are seeing? And how you are thinking about the examinations and assessments? So I will request our speaker from Australia uh, to speak first. Yes.
Thank you, Raviji. And may I request all other participants to mute their microphone if they are not speaking,
Yes.
so they can
Yes,
unmute
yes.
it when they will speak. Okay, because
Very
it
important.
makes
Yes.
background noise. All right, thank you, Ravi. So, as I said, mentioned in my opening remarks, that when we see this as opportunity for all of us, especially in higher education, um, how the mode of our teaching learning is going to change, and how we can now leverage on technology. So the one thing which we are doing at my own institution, and it is applicable to most of the institution around the world, that we need to understand this digital delivery framework. What is the framework? There's one important thing in framework is your own learning management system, LMS. Mostly either it's Moodle, most of us we are using, or any other some customized learning management system. Then you have support services, okay, and not just support services in terms of students having some IT difficulties. The students cannot log in, or students have to download some of the softwares, which, for example, many of us we are using Zoom nowadays or Teams. But I'm talking about the one important thing Professor Verma mentioned. Students are going through a lot of thinking, and it's a shock and stress. So we need to think of even counseling services for students. Okay, so we in our institution, mostly in many Australian universities also, there are dedicated counseling services planned, and students are being in touch with the counselors of universities and institutions, and they're being asked how they are, because there is a lot of financial trauma, as well as a lot of learning related. Students are thinking, what will happen to my examination, what will happen to my results, if suppose this situation puts me in in a very, very bad, difficult, awkward situation, such as I may fail this unit because I'm better in face-to-face mode, and so on. So we need to think of these support services also. And then tools which we are talking. So I was just reading some of the questions. For example, Lavi Sharma is asking, Abhishek is also asking. So what are the best practices, or how we can think of using technology in this educational reform? And I think when I mentioned in my opening remarks that engaged tools. So the tools, the technology, or the tools of our teaching and learning, which will enhance student engagement. And some of the examples I would say that, for example, many of us, I don't know how many of us you're using whiteboard, for example, Microsoft whiteboards, where you can use that as very similar to Blackboard, traditional Blackboard, and you have interaction, and so on. How many of you using Kahoot, for example? It's nothing but formative assessment quizzing tool. Okay, how many of we are using polling? In Zoom there is a facility that you can use polling. So what the reason we need to think of these teaching tools or technology tools to enhance engagement, because you can have your recorded lecture or recorded activity available for students to access from anywhere and anytime. But that is not the idea. So students will not, students may watch, but at the end of the day, students may not learn anything. So that it is very important to have activities and make sure that every 15-20 minutes we are making sure that students are with the facilitator, students are learning, and students are understanding. So these are the tools, and many of you are using. So polling is there, quizzing, Kahoot quizzing is there, and of course virtual whiteboards. Okay, so we need to use that, asking questions to students, and making sure that they are with you. Now, when it comes to assessment, that is very important part, because students are always concerned about their assessments. They need marks, of course, and at the, always they are thinking how I can get maximum marks in this particular course or unit or subject. And designing assessments, very important, because it is not face to face. So when I was there in IMIT University, the first thing I did, I tried to convince my teaching faculty to incorporate formative assessment. Don't rely on summative assessment. That is extremely bad, extremely dangerous. Okay, and this is what we are now facing, or this is what, if suppose you have a subject or unit where you have 30% internal assessment or formative assessment, and you rely on 70% of mark, final examination, how you are going to do that, how you are going to handle that? So many of the institutions, universities worldwide, they are moving completely into that more formative mode, with little component of summative assessment, of course. But again, now the situation is we cannot conduct a standard written examination, and that is the challenge. So now, do you think that students who are learning something in the whole semester for 70% of weightage, how we are going to assess, and where is the justice for students? So students may feel uncomfortable, students may feel awkward, students may not have that confidence that I will really prepare for my 70% of the remaining component. So if you do, so one of the solutions is to have multiple choice examinations, very easy in terms of digital delivery, digital assessment. But again, that is not the way, the only way. You need to think of what is the best combination. So that's why if you have that final component, summative component is very less, 20%, 30%, it's easy that you can incorporate some multiple choice or maybe short answer questions and so on. However, having said that, that the technology has a lot of advantages also. If you use proper tools, you have proper proctoring system. If you have randomization, if you have proper design of these examinations, yes, you can design very good assessment also. And then whole of this experience, how you evaluate your digital delivery. I think very important, we need to understand the way our students are learning. So we did, out of curiosity, one survey, and we realized that 55 to 60% of students accessing our digital learning through either iPhones or Androids. Okay, so are we really design our delivery in that context? Some are using Windows, some are using iPads. Even we realize that many students, they have the network type, different network types they are using. So either cellular type or Wi-Fi type. Even their microphones are different, their speakers are different. So how we can be sure, or we ensure that uniform learning experience is provided to each student, whether the student is based in somewhere 200 kilometers or even overseas, or in your campus, in his or her hostel room. So I think that is what we need to think. We need to think the way that the changing scenario is, and how students are adapting this teaching styles. Okay, and that's why evaluation is very important. So we asked our facilitators to have session feedback at the end of each session, and that you can also design using Zoom polling. Okay, nice design you can do, and you can ask students, and you can get that data that students immediately students can comment. There may be quantitative feedback, there may be qualitative feedback. Students can say that this thing was good, your voice was not clear, or there was a lot of background voice, your PowerPoint was not up to the mark, and so on. So I think you do that thing, you implement, and you make sure that it is working, and those things which are not working, you try to improve that. So in a nutshell, there may be, the roadmap you need to develop for engaged learning and teaching digital delivery, which we have done in our institution, right from telling students how you are going to be learning for next semester or this whole semester or remaining weeks, telling them how you can engage, because students may access lectures, but only accessing lectures is not enough for students. How students will get that experience they used to do in labs, they used to do work in tutorial rooms, they used to do some hands-ons. So how they are going to do that? So that peer-to-peer connection is very important, and I will come back to Professor Verma's point, why students are more stressed, because they're missing that environment. They can't talk to their peers, they can't interact with their peers, they can't work on team-based project learning. For example, they are working on projects that other 3 team members are isolated, and they feel that, okay, I don't know, we can't cope up and we can't work on the project because we are not together, and we don't have face-to-face interaction. So I think it's very important to inform students and give that sort of feeling that yes, you're not completely isolated. Because of technology we can do that. So there are a lot of dashboards, learning you can do. There are a lot of buddy groups and study groups you can create. Make sure that students will have that peer-to-peer interaction, and students will have regular interaction with facilitators. Thank you, Ravi. Ravi, you are on mute.
Yes. I'm just switching it on. I'm sorry, and thanks for an excellent input about various more tools and why it is important to engage students in multiple types of activities. And let me request Professor R.A. Gupta to talk about that this situation, which is like getting long and longer, the corona situation. How is your university planning to handle this situation? And I am like requesting all the panelists to be brief so that we have chances for others also to speak, and we can also have some questions. So max 3 minutes each. Yes, Professor Gupta.
Thank you very much. So let me start. Basically, initially, we are dealing with the 2 types of the students. The student is in the final year, 8th semester, and the rest student with 1st to 6th semester. We are dealing these 2 classes separately. In the final year student, we are basically thinking that we should examine them, their project, their seminar, their lab component online, so that they can go out. So we are planning on those lines actually. So experimentally, we conducted their second midterm online, and the result is very good. Around 96% students appeared in this online examination. Little problems were there, but that was conducted very nicely. So accordingly, now we are planning, if we are not able to come out with the situation, then in the month of July, we are planning to conduct their end term examination online. So what we will do, instead of 3 hours paper, we will make it 2 hours paper. First change what we are going to think, we are going to implement. Second, what we are planning, that we will give a 20% component multi-choice questions, MCQ. The students are having 4 choices and they will tick 1. Then another 20% component, we want to give 2-line question, and rest is basically descriptive type. So this is what we are planning, and we will give the student all these papers just before half an hour. We will give them connectivity, and it will be an open book type of the question paper. Another thing what we are going to think, that the internal component what we have already taken first and second midterm, we will basically increase the weightage of these midterm examination, and then we will basically give some assignment type. So 20% assignment, the teacher will give the assignment, and then they can basically submit their assignment, and they will examine accordingly. So end term examination, the weightage will be reduced little. So in that way, we are planning online only for 8th semester. Rest semester, what we are thinking that we are asking to our affiliated colleges to start the odd semester teaching. They have to start, and as and when this situation will be come out, the student will come into the classes, and at that time, we are trying to conduct their offline examination. Now in the final year, one more problem, the project problem is there, and some laboratories are there. So in the project, because neither they are able to do on hardware, nor they have the latest software, so simulation is also not possible. So we are trying to tell our teachers to change little the problem what they have given to them, and submit the assignment on that problems, and accordingly we are planning to complete the assignment. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And may I request Dr. Charan to speak? I think like you were not able to speak earlier also. I am requesting you to speak. Yeah.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
जी आवाज आ रही है. Just like be near the computer, so आवाज और अच्छी
अब ठीक है.
हाँ जी.
Thank you. As far all preparation at my university is concerned, actually we all are missing students. Habitually we are surrounded by students, and since last so many months, students are not with us, so we all are waiting for them. Let Corona effect be over. So as far preparation during this period is concerned, we had 3 tasks basically. One, to complete the remaining syllabus. So that has been completed successfully with all the means available. And need not to describe again. A large number of people have shown the same, because a variety of means are available, and engineering variety of online videos are also available. And even my teachers have put up the video, and sometimes I feel that there is a flood of videos, and students may not be able to recognize because they are not properly categorized. So then finally it was completed by 30th of April. Then I thought that there may be some students may be feeling problem. So I had a 1 week makeup week, that's called makeup week. So all the students were asked to contact the teachers, and the teachers had taken their special classes wherever they had any problem 1 week. Then the second major issue concerned to us was training of the students, internship, summer internship. So there were a large number of online modules were available. Last time, if you remember, we had a talk with Coursera, Rahul Gupta ji. So they were also kind enough to provide all this free of cost up to 31st of July. So all the student has been engaged, and I have verified it. I have obtained a complete list from all the institutes coming under my university jurisdiction, where the student is being engaged with what type of online courses he is joining, and what's the title. So every information I have obtained. So they are fully engaged there. And at the same time, the next very important part, I feel that Verma has told, that at this time students are at home, and they are very much feeling that what will happen to our examination, when we'll get our degree, what will happen to our next career, job. So I thought this is the time we should have a special interaction with them. And for that, I experimented something special. I'll tell you special on the listener. I have conducted a workshop on a happy life, happy and harmonious life. It's a continuous workshop for 1 week. A batch of 400 to 500 students, they have been enrolled in that workshop in a group, and our faculty members had been, they are trained in the subjects, happiness in life, harmonious life, to considering the total span of life from a person, family, and society, and finally environment existence. And there was a tremendous response from the students. Until now, we have conducted the workshop, and almost 1,800 students had undergone 1 week workshop on happy life to understand what's his role in the overall uh, overall existence, right from family to coexistence, and how they can live in harmony with them. And with the enthusiasm and the importance of subjects and their feedback, now we have decided that at least we will reach to the 5,000 students to understand about their role in this world.
So,
And I'll
interrupt you here. We are actually running short of time, and I'm like requesting each of us to be very brief. The other session people are waiting here.
So if you want to ask me anything, I'll tell you. If you ask me how do you engage it, that's what I'm telling you.
I agree.
If you're running short of time, thank you. You should not make me waiting for so long. I'm waiting for. I have joined you at 11 o'clock.
I agree to that.
I'm not very much interested.
So I'm like,
I'm telling Ravi Gupta ji, you told me how do you engage the student. And my two colleagues, Mr. Verma and Mr. Patil, has raised this issue because the students are very much in tension on this. And that's very important. And as what I'm thinking, what we are discussing, we are all technical people. We know how to engage the student online. Nothing
Yes.
special we are discussing.
Yes.
And people have started thinking that online become the part of the offline. That may be again another mistake. Now companies has the home that 20% become the online. So we always, when earlier we were thinking there should be offline study. Now we started thinking there should be online study. So we should not float ourselves like this. I always telling it, this is very important, but this is the addition.
Yes.
This will not replace the offline. This will not never replace, I am telling you. But the ICT has started recently, has given the circular that 20% is to be replaced like that. And government will take advantage of it. They'll tell you don't require teachers, 20% is online. Then open university people have told 40% may be online. And I'm telling you, this is surprising. You have to let all people to know the universities, traditional universities, which were not engaging the classes in offline mode. Now they are telling all the students are engaged in the online mode. And even authorities are also happy that all the students are in online mode because they don't require teacher in next time. So we should be fair to all this. What I am telling is how they were engaged basically. Otherwise, we have conducted training, we have conducted classes, and in the July I am going to start the online classes if Corona effect is continuing. So everything is there. For engineering, all the platforms are there. I have instructed my teachers, all the teachers, they should prepare their presentation to teach online. They are ready, they are preparing. I have told them you assign the subject and prepare the presentation because up to this time they were not prepared all. So that at random they thought they have given the advice. Now I have told in 1 month advance you prepare a presentation and the work which I am telling in the terms of counseling the student in the form of the presentation we were able to know that it can be communicated. Earlier we were thinking that this counseling cannot be online. Counseling can be one-to-one. Now we have finally verified that this can be through the online also. And large number of the people, I am telling you, the people are not the students. Their parents are also joining it. How to be happy life. When two students ask me, sir, I need 2 connections. I asked me why 2 connections? Because he told me my parents also wanted to listen it. When I obtained the feedback of it, the one student was telling about feedback on the fifth day. Then just in between, his sister has taken the phone and started telling that I am a medical doctor, married. I had listened all about it for 5 days, and this is the basic which is required for each and every student, not only student, every parents also, and that's how we engage. That's what I wanted to tell.
Yes. I think it's a what you highlighted. Very important.
I'll tell you, this is something special all over India. It's my university which has counseling the student for 1 week about a happy life. This is the example all over India for students online counseling about the happy life for 1 week continuously, not 1 day, 2 day, 1 week.
Fine. So I think excellent inputs have come in. Various universities are taking different steps, and we are beyond our time. So I am like requesting our two other panelists, Professor H.N. Verma and our speaker from Mr. Singhi from the Pune University, to give one line closing remarks each. So let me start with Pune University. Yes.
Should I?
So
just to close on, my closing remark is that health is wealth. All of us should stay safe, be happy in their space. And to students, I would like to say that study well, make the best utilization of this time. This is the time to upgrade and upskill yourself. And I'm sure that we all have a very bright and good future ahead. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, all the listeners.
Dr. Gupta, I would like to add the news which I read yesterday, that this dual mode of teaching, that is offline as well as online, as Dr. Charan has emphasized, that is very important nowadays. And the UC has permitted that the students can have 2 degrees, one in the regular mode, the other in the distance mode or online mode also. So this is a great advantage to the students, and they can make full use of it. But the thing which Dr. Charan said, that the happiness classes which he conducted, I must congratulate him, because that was very important at this time for the students, and they have to be de-stressed very regularly, and they need some motivation from time to time. Otherwise, they have taken it very well, and I think they are performing very well also. They are doing very well also. So there is no discussion on this particular point. But once the things normalize, perhaps we will have to come back to the regular mode of teaching. We have made all the arrangements for the online examinations, and hopefully we will start our session well in time. And in case the students are not able to come, we have arranged for the online classes also, right from the very beginning. So we are ready for that. And I must congratulate the students and the teachers for this switch over from classroom teaching to online teaching. They have done very well, and they deserve a lot of compliments for the same. Thank you so much.
yes. So with this, we are closing this session, and I want to thank our eminent speakers on behalf of the IELTS Technomedia and Digital Learning Magazine for participating in this very interesting session. I am thanking Professor R.A. Gupta, Professor H.D. Charan, Professor H.N. Verma, Mr. Rahul Singhi, and Professor Arun Patil for this very interesting and very engaging session. And I apologize that we have a shortage of time here, and so that we are going to wrap it up here, and we will start our next session just right now. So we will.
Thank you.
I will request our existing speakers to log off right now. With this, namaskar.
Thank you, Raviji. Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.